Chrome address bar no longer shows protocol or www subdomain. A couple of days ago I noticed that for all websites, Chrome omits from the address bar the protocol and the subdomain if it is www. My coworkers report that they are not seeing this. Chrome version is 67.0.3396.87. For example, if I type into the address bar https://www.google.com, without the quotes, Chrome immediately displays the chip secure followed by google.com. See attached screenshots. I have looked in vain for Chrome settings that affect this, plus the Chrome //flags page and Chrome //net internals page. I did not do anything consciously to make this change. Any ideas? Edit, suggestion from Roy that a minbox UI hides dead state URL scheme, and trivial subdomains had become enabled column. Good suggestion, except that the setting is still at default. See screenshot. However, as a shot in the dark, I am going to play with the setting to see what happens. First I set it to disabled. That restored the previous behavior of the address bar, which is to not to hide the protocol and trivial subdomains. Then I changed it back to default, and it was hiding them again. One would suspect that somehow the default has been changed, except that coworkers are not reporting this issue. Oh, well. I'll just leave it as disabled for now. I would be ready to accept the answer from Reut, because it provides a workaround. Yet we'll leave it open for a bit longer, because it does not really answer why this behavior has changed, and why it has to be overridden. Edit 2, Chrome version is 67.0.3396.87.
The Chrome //flags entries are temporary and will be removed in the future versions of Chrome. The current solution in Chrome 83+. Right-click inside the address bar and enable Always Show Full URLs in the context menu. If the option isn't there, go to Chrome //flags, find Show Full URL flag, enable it, restart Chrome. Hopefully, it'll be present by default in the future. See chrobug.com/1061576. The alternative official long-term workaround. The officially supported long-term workaround is to install Google's Suspicious Site Reporter extension. www and other trivial subdomains will be shown fully, https:// will be shown fully, http:// will be hidden, not secure, will be shown instead. It works because Chrome/Chromium explicitly checks whether the extension is installed and enabled using it and toggles the URL elision feature accordingly. For those who don't want to install Site Reporter extension, the only required part of that extension is an excerpt from manifest.js and shown below, no other files needed. You can install it in your browser as an unpacked extension. It should be trivial to install on Linux or macOS. As for Windows, only the Canary channel supports unrestricted installation of unpacked extensions as far as I know. Some Chrome forks support it too. In the official stable Google Chrome on Windows you will have to use an elaborate trick to avoid a warning on each browser start. This zero-weight extension uses the same it as the Google's extension so you can have both of them installed, but you only need one anyway. Note, since the it is the same we can upload it to the web store. Copy the following text and paste it in your text editor, save as, manifest.json. See also how to save files with any extension in Windows. Open, Chrome //extensions, page, enable developer mode. Drag and drop the directory with manifest.js and into the page or click Load Unpacked button and indicate the directory there.
Update March 2020, the Chrome //flags option listed below in my original answer no longer works as the flags appear to have been removed from the UI, although for some time after they were visibly removed from the UI, the options did still appear to persist if you had previously disabled these features in the UI, although this is no longer the case. However, As stated in comments by @Ryan Gillis, you can still disable these options on the Chrome shortcut command line by adding the disable features argument. For example, /chrome.x disable features equals omnibox y experiment hide statistical trivial subdomains, omnibox y experiment hide statistical scheme, omnibox y experiment hide file scheme. This appears to restore the original functionality for me. Tested Chrome v80.0.3087.132. http:// is still hidden, and shows not secure instead. https:// is shown as a www subdomains. Another option, as stated in @Wuxong's answer below, appears to be to install Google's Suspicious Site Reporter extension, which also gets the protocol and subdomains back. Original answer, no longer works. The behavior you are seeing is consistent with having the Omnibox UI hide steady state URL scheme and trivial subdomains setting enabled within Chrome //flags. Returning this flag to default, or disabled, and restarting the browser, prompted, should get your scheme plus subdomains back. This is on Chrome version 67.0.3396.87, official build 64-bit, Windows. Except checking that setting does not show enabled, rather it shows default. As far as I can gather, whether default means enabled or disabled is built into the Chrome executable. So, this is primarily version dependent. Note also that settings vary between developer and stable builds. Settings can also be enabled/disabled in command line switches. So this is another area that is worth checking. Reference, this URL, although I don't see much relating to the Omnibox in this list. Update Sept 2018, as noted in another answer, from Chrome version 69, tested version 69.0.3497.81, this feature now seems to be enabled by default. So, you must explicitly set this to disable to remove this feature. Update August 2019, this option/flag has since been split into two, possibly since version 72, according to @Kyborg in comments. Omnibox UI hide steady state URL scheme, Omnibox UI hide steady state URL trivial subdomains. The default setting is enabled, so these options must be explicitly set to disable to get the scheme and trivial subdomains back in the URL address bar. Note that the insecure HTTP scheme/protocol is always hidden, regardless of this option. There is also a new, rather ominous, option, Omnibox UI hide steady state URL path, query, and ref, which currently, Chrome version 76, appears to be disabled in its default state. Something to keep an eye on though. Update November 2019, unfortunately, it seems that since version 78 these flags have now been completely removed from the UI. However, whilst these flags appear to have been removed in the UI, if you have previously disabled these flags in an earlier version, then the options appear to stick and the trivial subdomains and HTTPS URL scheme remain visible.
It is now default setting for Chrome //flag/ #omnibox UI hide steady state URL scheme and subdomains. It will now also strip some other subdomains like m.domain.com to domain.com, so www.m.www.m.example.com will show up as example.com in address bar unless Omnibox UI hide steady state URL scheme and trivial subdomain is set to disabled in Chrome 69. This URL
Additionally to the existing answers, it keeps to mention that changes in the browser settings are not really required to get access to the full URL. Simply double-click in the URL bar and you'll see it completely.
The Chrome //flags/#omnibox UI hide steady state URL trivial subdomains has unfortunately been removed in Chrome 76, but there is a very easy trick to show the protocol and subdomains again. All you have to do is to install Google's Suspicious Site Reporter extension from the Chrome store, and this URL will start showing in address bar. As we can see in the source code, the protocol will not get hidden if this extension is installed.
If you want to support the channel, please consider subscribing.